This conversation is part of Coherence 2025, and I am here with Daphne Laan, who is representing Planeteer. Planeteer is joining Coherence as a project, and I would like to hear today a little bit about how Planeteer will fit into what we are doing.
Cool. Thank you for having me.
Sweet. Okay, so my first question is, I would like you to tell me a bit about your project and how it connects with the themes of conscious collaboration and wise AI.
Yeah, thank you. I'll first tell a little bit about Planeteer, and then I'll share about how it connects with collaboration and wise AI. So
Exactly.
Planeteer is an ecosystem platform for collaboration. I think we're saying, yeah, we co-create future we all believe in. So we started to build foundational infrastructure around 3 pillars, and the 3 pillars are learning, connection, and action. And learning you can see widely as also obviously unlearning or reskilling. We are bringing together different learning partners, skilling partners in a gateway, so that everybody who feels like, hey, I want to develop my skills around, in a wider sense, planetary action, can do so. And the second pillar on connecting, we developed an AI agent, Merlin AI, where we connect people based on their advanced profiles, their quests and their offers. And we connecting them to each other, but also towards impactful projects. And basically we say we are bringing also the magic or putting the heart into technology, so that you can basically connect with people you wouldn't have thought so, and that can advance you on either your own mission you have, or you can co-create around a quest or a challenge that we now, I think, face a lot here, but then you can work together on that. And action part is also allowing that the funds can flow to those who need it most. So if there's a financial transaction on the platform, a certain percentage goes to a collective fund. And with that collective fund, we support projects that are connected to people, the planet projects. And the next step is that it's a user-owned platform. So we are now carving out the next phase of Planeteer, that we want to create a token, so that also the governance is done in a way decentral. And with the token, people can choose which products to support, so that we make it an ecosystem that can allow for collaboration at scale. I think that is in short what Planeteer is about. And if you then say, hey, how is it connected to collaboration? And you said why AI?
Yes, exactly. I think that Planeteer embodies conscious collaboration, right?
I think so. Yeah, because we are an ecosystem of ecosystems. And I think the reason for we started this with 3 founding partners, so Mohamed Boutzea, Joshua Rauwe, and myself, Daphne Laan. And I think we all started from this personal notion to say, hey, what if we would start to work together in a way that we all feel like we should work together, and rather than saying the future of work is somewhere there and it's a theoretical engagement, how can we basically bring something to life that is already here in the now, taking care of a different way of working with each other, which is grounded in not looking, I think grounded in looking at things more holistically, regeneratively, and whatever words you want to connect to it, something that is more coming from the heart and working together, rather than coming from the mind and saying, hey, this is what we want to do from external drivers. And we're gathering a community of communities that each bring their own, I think, elements to the table. And that is done a lot. And I think that's where also the connection is to what you're doing with Coherence. That is based on coherence rather than on, wanting to make something happen, but really, tune into what wants to happen and to say, the way we work merges working together also with both masculine qualities and feminine qualities inside. And the wise AI part is coming from the fact that we say how we use AI is to foster connection and to amplify what we're doing together. So we're merging, or we're blending human intelligence with artificial intelligence and with hybrid intelligence. That is basically our supporting infrastructure. So technology as an enabler rather than a goal. So in everything we do, the part on, okay, what is it for? Like fostering connection, enabling collaboration at scale is our goal. And that's what our AI is basically helping to do. Hopefully in the future also alongside other partners that we can co-create foundational infrastructure that is needed for the new we want to move towards.
Sure. I have a very practical question. I have a profile on Planeteer.
Okay.
What would you advise me to do to make the most out of my existence in Planeteer?
Well, that's a really good question. So I don't know if you've seen the onboarding assistant that was launched last week.
Oh, I think I have missed that one.
Oh no, that's good. That's a good thing, because now basically you can go back to your profile and use our onboarding assistant to improve part of your profile. Maybe on those elements you feel like, hey, I want to share more. You can now use our onboarding assistant that will help you with some guiding questions to tune in, and then the onboarding assistant will basically help you update the profile automatically.
All right. And apart from updating the profile. Okay.
Yeah. So what did you want to say?
Go ahead. You didn't finish your sentence. I interrupted you.
Oh, no, that's okay. No, so the onboarding profile, the onboarding agent or assistant can help you update your profile. And I can imagine if you look at your quests and offers, since you're working on coherence, it would be nice to say, hey, what is it that you really need or would love to make happen with the community that is there? To say, hey, this is the help, or this is something I would need to advance your project, and to basically describe what you're looking for, so that others know that when they find you, they also know how they can either help or what you're up to. And our AI also offers suggestions. So if you have a profile, it basically suggests about 7 people that could be worthwhile connecting to based on your profile and based on your quest and offer. So then sort of the magic happens. Then you can say, hey, I didn't, I never thought about connecting with those people. You can reach out on your quest and offers after that.
Okay, just one more question. Quest and offers, this is a key feature of Planeteer. Is it about having as many as possible?
No, it's not about having as many as possible. It's more about, are there any things in your life at the moment where you feel like, hey, this is a quest I am on, so this is something you would like to make happen. For example, finding new partners for coherence could be a quest that is on top of your the things, the things you want to make happen. It can be a personal quest. It can be a business-related quest. And an offer is on the other way around, is, hey, what is it that you would like to bring to the community? Can still be a commercial or an offer that you have that is related to your the scope of work you're doing. Because we also believe in that this community of communities we're creating is also a really nice way to advance everybody's missions in what you want to bring to life.
But I'm thinking the more offerings and like quests I create, the higher chances that your matchmaking tool will connect me with more people, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be connected to more people, obviously the more input you give, the easier it is to match you with different types of people. But it's not to artificially say, hey, I want to have as many quests or offers, because it is more up to what you want to call into being. And behind the scenes, I'm also piloting what it actually means to set up projects with different partners. So that is not something which is reflected on the platform yet, but we have started getting teams together on different challenges. For example, one of the projects we're working on is the microbiome project. Where we are looking into, can we set up some sort of library for different people from different backgrounds to input their knowledge on a topic like microbiome. and then basically cross the boundaries of how we work together. So rather than saying, hey, this is a project only for these types of people, to say, hey, we cross the boundaries of people that are either working on this out of interest, people who are or who have actually a company or a farm or something in this space. So in the future, I can imagine the insights from the project we do basically in real life or in like offline, which is we can also translate into how Planeteer works. So it's also a living, I would say, a living platform that is continuously refining the way we can work together.
It is super fascinating, and I have so many other questions, but I'm a little bit bounded by the content of this welcome. I guess you will have more calls where you will deep dive either with me or with others, right? So I will get back to the script.
Of course,
So the second question is, how do you understand coherence? How do you understand what we are doing here?
Yeah, so how I understand coherence is that you're basically capturing different partners, people, visions, what people are working on. And by capturing it and by also opening it up to the same group of people or in the future more people, then you're opening space for coherence. Because when you're listening to things that you might not uncover, but you're bringing people together based on your coherence, I can imagine that allows for more coherence to come about. So this is how I understand it. And I would also say it's a space for then emergence. Like if things are coherent and in resonance, I would say, then perhaps out of that also some sort of action might follow. But I can imagine the first step is to move into a space of coherence.
Yes, exactly. You get it very. So what do you hope to get out of participating in coherence?
Yeah, I love to lead in the unknown. So there is, I think the hope is more like, hey, I hope that more and more people start to realize what the importance is of collaboration and then collaboration at scale. I hope to be surprised that somebody at a certain point reaches out and says, hey, what you're working on, I have exactly the same or a similar idea or vision. Let's see how we can bring that together. Because I believe at the same time, a lot of ideas that are now out there obviously it's just the time that we all feel we need to do things differently. And it's not so much about my idea or your idea, but how we can merge the different ideas. And we know we have a personal role to play because of who we are. And you feel like, okay, but this part of the big idea is mine and is something I can contribute or we can contribute depending on the setting. So my hope is the magic that will appear is that somebody else says, hey, what you are building, I feel this is very aligned with what somebody else is doing. And maybe says, hey, I have a complementary piece of the puzzle we might want to add.
Amazing. Cool. So if you could perhaps envision for a moment the projects that you could get connected with so that I could facilitate some matchmaking, what would that be?
Oh, cool. Yeah, I have this. This is then, a personal one that I want to put more in the forefront this year. I would love to put two sailing boats into two harbors, starting in two harbors, one the harbor of Rotterdam and the harbor of Singapore. And then we would basically do co-creation sessions on the sailing boats. The idea would be if you have the sailing boat as a metaphor, it becomes really easy. What if your planet would be, or what if our planet would be a sailing boat? Then we wouldn't use all the water. We would wave to all the other captains. And it's a very easy, way to pull people in. And I think on a deeper level, why is I would love to connect to restoring trade routes in a way with reciprocity, joy, and celebration. So the boats are also a way to say, hey, the places or the spaces we create in harbors are basically the co-creation spaces to craft and to birth the new. So everybody who feels drawn to this sort of concept of a sailing boat, and then and I have an offer to use or bring a gathering together, possibly in Belém here when the climate convention is happening. So if there's people that are on the road to BLM are still figuring out what to do. That could also be a thing to because I want to bring a Planeteer gathering possibly together there, and otherwise on one of the sailboats either in the Netherlands or in Asia.
Oh, I'm thinking perhaps if there are any links, I could also connect them to the description of our call on YouTube so that people can easily find it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, cool. Let's explore.
So
So it's basically an expedition we're embarking on. Yeah, and the idea would be to also open up the conversation on regenerative finance, ecosystem collaboration, and open data sharing or AI or wise AI as you say. So that could be a next something where we can also invite the people that are connected to your project and initiatives.
Okay. Let me ask, is there any particular projects that you know that is already part of Coherence that you would like to get matched to it?
I can imagine. I mean, I'm now in the phase of looking at, the timing of it and the funding to get some of the boats or the sailing boats there. I can imagine the Coherence group the Meta Coherence group, we're aligning some of the partners there. I can imagine and could also align. But I can imagine like let's pop up to see, let's see what pops up from this
exactly.
Coherence call. I would say let's stick to where we are now and see what happens. That would be my sense.
Right. Let's do it like that. That is actually. Oh no, I have one more question. This is a very interesting one. What questions are you bringing to Coherence 2025?
That's a good question. It's almost a favorite question I always like to ask myself is like, hey, what question did I forget to ask? So maybe the first question, is there any question you forgot to ask, but that is not on your script that you would love to ask?
No, I think I'm fine. I have some questions already.
Okay, cool. So that would be my first question. And then in terms of what would I bring to Coherence 2025 as questions? Yeah, I think the key question I have is how do we open the door for action and then not just action, but inspired action that is connected what what you personally want to bring to the table. Because I have a feeling that we can quickly move from coherence to action, but that would basically be my call to action is, how can we move into inspired action?
I love it. I love it. This will be the title of this episode.
Yay! I like it.
Cool. So I would say thank you so much. And
You're welcome. Thank you also for bringing this together. I think it's very important.
Amazing. See you in Coherence, I guess.